Hello, welcome back to Sacred Vapes, channel that aims to bring you the views and experiences of products in the market today, brought to you by Average Vapor. Now this week I've got something a little bit different. It's from a company that is not known for making devices like this, but they released a brand new kit and there's a lot to talk about with it. It's this, the Smoant Taggerz kit. Now, Smoant are pretty much famous for a lot of decent mods. You know, the Battlestar, the Sharon, was it? And the Boo. You know, they make decent looking mods. So it's a little bit strange that they seem to have gone for the other side of the market. And what I mean by that is that this seems to be aimed more for conventional vaping rather than long term. But before we get talking about that, let's give her a vape. Now, first and foremost, what you get. This is the packaging that you get it in. Nice simple design. Goes through little features. On the back, you have your contents and your warnings, as you would expect. You get your scratch code for authenticity. A little bit of information on that side. Nice and simple. And on what you'll get is a little sticker telling you which one you've bought there. This one is called Graffiti. So we'll get her open. Now you get battery warning card. You get, it's meant to be a warranty card, I imagine. You get a little how to fill the tank up. You get a user manual, which nice simple design. Now underneath you'll have your mod, which obviously as always mine's on the table, and you get a tank. We'll get talking about that in just a minute, but you'll also get a USB cable, and that's about it. So we'll get talking about the device itself now. Now the mod is a 200 mAh device. It's an external dual 18650 battery. Comes battery compartment. Get her open. There you go. 2 batteries. Magnetic battery door. So this snaps into place. Now it's nice clear display. Has wattage, ohms, volts, and your battery indicator, and the little mode, which you can see in the corner there. Has 2 navigation buttons. Now on this design it seems to be disguised into it. I think it's a bit more prominent if you have something like the black version, but yeah, there's 2 navigation buttons there, and then you have a side fire button, again kind of designed to be disguised into the mod. Now the mod itself is completely plastic. It's not metallic in any way. It's plastic. It's lightweight. Top of the device, I'd say it goes up to about 25mm. There doesn't seem to be much space for much bigger than that, but yeah. And you also get a front USB port. Now we're going to showing you the mod, and it's quite a simple menu system. 5 clicks turns it off. There we go. 5 clicks turns it back on. The Smoant logo, and it's back on. Now to operate it, if you want to lock the power into place, hold both navigation buttons together. Now that will still let you fire. As you can see, but it won't let you adjust the power. But again, just hold the buttons down. It's nice and responsive, and we'll let you vape again. Now, the options on this, 3 clicks. Takes you, it hasn't that time. There we go. Apologies for that. And you get modes. There's variable wattage. Oop. Times out quite quick. You have variable wattage. You have nickel, titanium, stainless steel, TCR, and DVW. Now when you go into each one, there isn't many options. For example, stainless steel, this takes you straight to the power, not the power, the temperature that you can adjust. So it goes, it's kind of a cycle device as well. I'll just show you. So it's at 220 degrees now. You notice it'll cycle all the way back down. So there's no like top limit with this one. I'll show you with the power. Show you with the power as well. It'll cycle up. So it takes a while to cycle up to 200, and then it'll go back down again. So that's the mod. We'll get talking about the tank now. Just set it back to the wattage. There we go. Now the Taggerz tank that it comes with is a disposable tank. It's 2mm capacity. It's 22mm, not 24 as they normally are. It's only 22. It's got bottom adjustable airflow. Comes with a 510 drip tip, non-replaceable, as it's an all-in-one. And the coil inside is a 0.2 ohm coil, which is mesh as well. Nearly forgot to mention that, but it's a 0.2 mesh. It's recommended between 35 and 45 watts. Now the fill port, little silicone bung there. You simply pull that out. I won't do it right now, but pull it out and easily fill her up. So yeah, that's the details. What's my initial thought? It's a bit of a strange design, especially for Smoant. Not because it's necessarily bad, it's because it's a little bit unexpected for what they normally release. But we'll get into the pros and cons now, and we'll dig a little deeper into whether this is actually worth buying. Now we'll start with the mod. First pro of the mod for me is that it's extremely light. It is completely plastic, so that's what you would expect, but it is really light in the hand. To be honest, the weight is the batteries. There's no additional weight whatsoever, especially with that little tank on the top. Fire button's nice and clicky. Be no sticking or anything like that. It's nice and responsive, apart from that little hiccup before. It is really responsive. See, it works fine. So yeah, next pro for me is going to be that battery door. If you look at that, it's a nice simple magnet, but it just snaps into place. And there's no battery door wobble. There's nothing. It's secure in place, so quite like that. The fact that it's very much disguised, you know, it's something that you could just sit down on the table and just leave. And yeah, I just like the way it's all disguised in, when you'll know when where the fire button is and the navigation buttons when you're using it. So that's not really an issue for me. It's not like they're really oddly placed, like they really could have done with this design. I really like the screen. I think it's nice and simple, nice and clear. Just tells you what you need to know. Battery life on this, really good. Well, using it with this tank, it's really good. It's over a day, so it takes advantage of the fact that it's a low-powered tank. So you will get over a day out of a couple of 18650s before you have to change them over. And yeah, I'd say it's a relatively nice fit in the hand. It's not too big compared to something like the Naboo, which I thought was a bit more bulky. So that's a pro. Right, we'll get onto the tank now, and first pro for the tank is the flavour. Now for 45 watts the flavour is pretty good. Now I'm using a liquid in this, which is a bit of a complex flavour. It's melon and berries. Now I'm getting it's not bringing both flavors through like other tanks that I've been using it in have, but it's bringing them like the blend together. So that's a pro for me. It gives you a nice flavor, vapor production, as you can see. I say this is 45 watts. The vapor production on this is excellent. It's really chucking clouds for such a small power. I've never really seen that before, so it's probably the best cloud chucking tank for low power on the market. And the fact that it's a small design, it's light, that's a pro. Filling up's nice and easy. I've not had any bubbling or anything like that. The fact it comes with adjustable airflow, that's a pro. And yeah, that's all I can say about the tank. So we'll get on to the cons now. The first con for me, I think it's not for me, it's going to be for potentially you. The fact that it's a plastic mod, you know, if it does feel like plastic. It's compared to, I mean, I've brought plastic mods to you before and they weren't bad. You know, they felt solid. This does feel like plastic, so it does feel a bit cheaper than others that I've had. So that's something to keep in mind, and especially when it comes to the price tag, but we'll get to that at the end of the video. Next con for me, to be honest, I can't think of any other real cons for what this device is meant to be. It's nice and simple, nice and easy to use. Battery life's good. I say it's only really the fact that it's a plastic mod, and I suppose it's a bit bulky. I did mention in the pros that it wasn't the biggest mod, but yeah, it does feel a little bit bulky still, especially like if you holding onto it with a grip, it can be a bit uncomfortable. So maybe if it was a tiny bit smaller. Actually, yeah, there is another con. There's no battery ribbon inside, so it's a little bit difficult to get the batteries in and out. That I'm not really a fan of. But yeah, going to the cons of the tank now. Now the first con for me, I mean, you can probably see it there. You can get a bit of condensation on this drip tip, which I'm not too keen on. I don't know why that is. It's just not filtering the vapor effectively enough. So a bit of a downside from using a disposable tank, I suppose. Next con for me, 2 mil capacity. Now, the reason why I'm saying the 2 mil capacity is a con, I'll show you why. If you look at the juice level in this tank, it's down to there already since I started doing this video. That's why I've been vaping this a little bit more than I normally would on a video, because I wanted to show you how quick it drinks the liquid. So I've touched on it before about the vapor production for the juice consumption. So for the speed it's going down, it is really good for the amount of vapor it's giving out. But then I have found myself filling this up quite a bit, and you know, the amount of different, you know, it's literally about half an hour worth of vaping for me, 40 minutes if I'm just regularly using it, and then I'm filling her up again. So yeah, I mean, I will say it's a bit of a pro that it isn't like an immediate dry hit. It does seem to wick well enough that it will actually, I don't know, lost train of thought there. It will actually give you that like one last like vape before it then decides to dry hit on you. So that's a pro, I'd say. But yeah, just the juice consumption on this is absolutely massive for the power level that you're vaping it at. I'm not a fan that it's a 510 drip tip either. I think for the amount of vapor as well, you know, I would have preferred an 810. I mean, it's comfortable enough, but I think when you're chucking that amount of cloud, you want an 810 drip tip on there. So yeah, that's pretty much the pros and cons. So we'll get into the overall of this now. And overall, I've got to lead into what I recommend this for you. And it's a bit of a split decision. The mod itself, if you're looking for an easy mod, a simple to use mod that's very extremely light, and performs really well with good battery life, then this could well be an option. I say the fact that it is plastic, it is extremely light, so there's literally no weight to it. So this could well be an option if looking at the price on this. I mean, the kits are going for about $37 at the minute over in China, so you know that's working out about £30, which is a good price. So yeah, if you like the look of it, like the idea of it, could well be worth picking it up. Would I recommend the tank? Now, I've brought a few different disposable tanks to you over the last several months. I wouldn't recommend this tank. I just don't think it's practical. If it was a 4 mil capacity, then maybe yes, because you wouldn't be filling it up every half an hour. But I think that's the biggest flaw to the tank. For the amount of vapour it's given off, I mean, it's nice flavour, but for the amount of vapour, it's not. I wouldn't recommend this. The fact that you only get one of these in the box as well. I mean, coil life on this, it's been lasting what, 2 weeks, and it's still going strong. So it performs well. As I say, vapes well, nice flavour. It's not a mind blowing flavour, but it's a nice solid flavour. Obviously, as I say, vapour production. As you can see, absolutely excellent. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend the tank. I just don't think it's practical. So yeah, overall, would I recommend this? For the mod, yes. For the tank, no. But yeah, that was the Smoant Taggerz kit. Now, how would you like to win one? Because I have one to give away, sealed. It's going to be this design, the graffiti design. What I'll do is I'll give one of these kits away, and I'll throw in a couple of extra tanks as well, so you'll have a few tanks to keep you going. How to win? Nice and simple as always. Just subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, like the video, and drop a comment below just to say done. What I will say, I think some people missed that last time, so I just want to sort of specify that. Just comment, because that's how I can count your entry if you put a comment below. Entry is going to be UK only again, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm going to let this run for a couple of weeks, so give or take, it's about, I don't know what date it is on the top of my head, but yeah, about 2 weeks from today I'll draw it live via a live stream as always. But yeah, good luck entering. But as I always say, stay safe. And keep vaping.